Hello from Fine Arts. Today we are going to learn about artist YAYOI Kusama from Japan. She is 94 years old and was born March 22nd, 1929. She is famous for her polka dots. In fact, they call her the polka dot princess, and her art genre is a contemporary artist. Now this is the very first sample, a replica of a pumpkin that she created as a sculpture. And the pumpkin is in Japan, and she did this in 1994, and it sits right here on the dock by the ocean. She said, the first time I ever saw a pumpkin was when I was in elementary school and went with my grandfather to visit a harvesting ground. It immediately began speaking to me. Since that moment, I have been completely enchanted by them. So she has created pumpkins all over the world. And here are some samples of some pumpkins that she created in her home country of Japan. And you can see that they are sculpture, so they are rather large. And here are some pumpkins that she has created around the world: London, Denmark, Connecticut, Hawaii. And we will be talking about all those fun things in class. The first thing we're going to do when we create our YAYOI inspired pumpkin is put our frame together. So you're going to get your white paper, your black frame paper, your glue, and your glue brush. Now when we open our glue, we twist the lid off. Please set the lid by the glue, and we're going to go with our glue across the top, putting a small layer of glue on the top. We're going to go down the side. Notice you don't need a lot of glue. We're going to go across the bottom, and then we're going to go down the side. So we make a rectangle with our glue. And when we're not using our glue brush, rest it in your glue jar. Now we're going to take our white paper and we're going to flip it over. We're going to center it on our frame, and you're going to push out the air bubbles, kind of like massaging the paper. Push, push, push. Then you're going to flip your paper over, and we are going to glue down the artist information sheet. The artist information sheet has information that you're going to learn about YAYOI Kusama in class. So when we glue this down, we're going to do a dot, dot, not a lot. Just a few dots around the outside edge, just like this. Here we go. And you can decide if you want your pumpkin to be horizontal today, that means across, then you might want to put it so your paper is across. If you want your pumpkin to be vertical today, vertical is a tall, skinny pumpkin, then you might want to turn your paper. The choice is yours. I'm just going to glue that on just like that. And then you're going to push out the air bubbles, which spreads out the glue. Okay, you're going to take your glue brush, put your glue brush in the hot tub, and you're going to put your glue back in the caddy, and then we're going to get started. You're going to get out your drawing guide, and your drawing guide has the steps for how we're going to draw our YAYOI inspired pumpkin. The first thing we're going to do is actually draw the pumpkin. Maybe I'll turn my paper this way. I think I'll do a tall one today. And if you look inside, I'm going to have these samples in class that I drew. Today you could do a round pumpkin, a tall and skinny pumpkin, a funky pumpkin, short and fat. There is no wrong way to do this project. So when I open it up, it kind of walks you through the steps. We're going to start with our small Sharpie, and you can draw it like this, where you do a top and a bottom. I'm going to show you two ways. Okay, so following our drawing guide, if you want to do a top and a bottom, somewhere near the center, again, you want to leave room for the stem. So this one is more short and fat, but your stem is going to be kind of curly. So we can do a little curve here at the top, curve, and then a curve at the bottom. And then you're going to connect these lines. So this is the center of the pumpkin, kind of like this center one right here. So that is down to step 2. Step 3, we're going to add a stem, and you decide how you want it to go. Step 4, we're going to curve to the left, kind of following the same shape of the pumpkin. Okay, and I know I'm going fast, but you're going to be able to take your time in class. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. And then step 6, we're going to do another curve along the side. And step 7, going around this side. Okay, and so just drawing your pumpkin is the first step. Now I'm going to show you that one more time. And this time I might turn my paper and make my pumpkin a little bit fatter. Okay, here we go. So I'm kind of going to go for a funky looking one. Here we go. So we're just going to draw a curve like that. Okay, and again, this is step 1 and step 2 kind of combined. And then we're going to curve to the right, curve to the left, put a stem on it. This one maybe like that. And so that is all the way done to step 5. Then we need another one on the left, following that same pattern. And then step 7, one more. There we go. So that is the first thing, is drawing the pumpkin, okay? And you might want to do it in pencil first, so that if you make a mistake, you can erase if you don't like what you did. All right, step 8 is putting our polka dots. Now, today you have 2 sizes of Sharpies in class. So we're going to start with the center polka dots, and I'm going to just show you a sample of one that I did. Here's this one, or here is another one. So there's no wrong way to do this project. All right, so we're going to start with putting dots down the center. So when I use my big Sharpie, the cap is on the back so I can hold on to the paper. So down the center of the pumpkin, notice the center dots are large, and then to the right and left of them, they are medium size, and then they get smaller. Okay, so we're going to start down the center, and I'm going to do a rather large polka dot all the way down with my big Sharpie. Okay, so that is step 8. Turn it again. Okay, step 9, I'm going to have polka dots on each side that are more medium size. And you can see here's a sample of her pumpkin as well. So if you want to continue using the big one, you can. So I'm going to just do some medium size. And you are welcome to take your time in class. I'm just kind of demoing how we do it. I will be demonstrating this in class also. Okay, and then notice there's these little tiny dots. Okay, so those are the small ones. I'm going to continue using this one, but you are welcome to change whatever you're comfortable with. Remember, there is no wrong way to do this. Okay, so you're going to continue the pattern, so this is keep going until you get to step 16 or 17 actually, kind of walking through it. And on the very last page, there is kind of a sample also. If you want your pumpkin to look 3-dimensional, mine looks a little bit more 2-dimensional. 3-dimensional is when we put those back curves on it. So I can, back here, put another curve on it and then another little curve right here. So that would be the last step. After you get all of these sections done, you do the back. And again, you'll put some polka dots in those as well. You're welcome to put polka dots on the stem, or you can do stripes. The choice is yours. So when you're all done creating your pumpkin, then we're going to go ahead and use our India ink. So let me show you what that is. First, let me show you some samples of things that I did. So here is a pumpkin that I did, and you can see this one was more in striped pattern rainbow. This one is, here we go, This one has smaller polka dots. Here's another one. Here's another one. This one's kind of a funky pumpkin. Okay, and here is another one. So today there's no wrong way to do that. Now we're going to be using this is India ink. It's called Dab of Ink, and we're also going to be using blue tray with some tin foil. Get ready for the fun. And when we do this today, let me just go over a few things. So when we're using our India ink and we put our ink on the foil, you can put your ink across. This is an example of the lines, okay? Or you can dab it and do little dots, okay? Or you can make your pattern like circles, kind of circular, which is some of the samples I have in class. When you're choosing your colors, you can see with the India ink, there's lots of color choices. So you can choose warm colors. We can talk about that in class. Pink, red, orange, and yellow. Or maybe you want your art to have cool colors. Those are the green, blues, and purple. Or maybe you want analogous colors. Analogous colors are colors next to each other on the color wheel. The nice thing about analogous colors is that they're going to blend really well. Now I want to show you a few other samples. So this is a sample of not enough color. You can see I used just yellow and purple, so that's 2 colors. So today I'm going to ask you to use at least 3 colors. This is another sample of when we put the ink on the foil today. If you leave a bunch of empty spaces of the foil, if you leave empty spaces, you're going to get this white. If you like that effect, you can do that. But this is what it's going to look like whenever we're done. Now this is a sample of what not to do, and this is making the muddy brown. And we're going to talk about not making muddy brown. So that would be a yellow and purple, make muddy brown, a red and green. These are complementary colors, and we'll talk about this, and orange and blue. So if you mix these, if the ink mixes over top of them, you're going to get this muddy brown. So today I don't want you to mix complementary colors. We'll talk about that. Now, after you're done printing on the foil, this is a tip. Please wipe the foil down so that you don't leave the ink on the foil. If you leave the ink on the foil, this is what would happen to the next person that uses it. It still leaves a little bit of a print, okay? All right, so I have a pumpkin done already, so we can go ahead and do this part. So once you have your pumpkin drawn and all of it glued down, you're going to put your ink on the foil. So let me show you how to do that. So you can pick any colors you want as long as you are not doing complementary colors where they overlap. So I'm going to just show you. So I put some red on here, and I'm going to do one in a circle pattern. So that would be my red. And the cap just twists off. And then I'm going to put a little bit of orange around it. And you might have to dab it down like this. Okay. And if the dauber has a bunch of messed up ink, there'll be scratch paper. You can kind of test them out if you need to, especially with the yellow. The yellow dauber seems to get mixed up with other colors. So notice I'm filling up the foil with my India ink. Okay, ooh, I love yellow. Yellow and orange make that beautiful amber color. That's my name. Okay, and then now there's different kinds of green. This one is more of a lime. So I'm gonna dab some of that green down. Again, you have to push. You can do circles, you can do lines, or you can do dots. And it doesn't take a lot of ink. Now this is a darker green, more of a forest green. I'm gonna go around, dabbing it down. Now on the foil, there is going to be a Sharpie mark all the way around in black. That is the area that you need to go to. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of this. There's different colors of blue. There's more of like a turquoise blue. Okay, put that turquoise down. Maybe I'll grab some of this. This is more of a, let's see, this one's more of a little bit darker blue. I do have, let's see, this one, or maybe, oh, let's try this one. Here we go. Just get that ink down. There it is. This is more of a darker blue. Okay. And ooh, I'm gonna grab this beautiful color right here. So notice I'm not really going over top of the colors like this. If I go back and forth, you're gonna make that muddy brown. Okay, so you're gonna fill your entire foil with color however you want. Now, this is a very important step. The next step is you wanna use your spray bottle to make it wet. Okay, so I'm gonna spray some water on here, and it just is a couple squirts. Notice how the ink kind of is reacting to the water. All right, the next step, you're gonna take your beautiful masterpiece and, let's see, here we go. And you're gonna take your beautiful masterpiece and you're gonna stamp it down. So I'm gonna flip it over, okay? And I'm gonna push it down. Okay, now the other thing is you might wanna take your hand and you're gonna push out. So this is a form of printmaking. We're getting the ink to transfer to the pumpkin. So make sure you go all the way around. Okay, here is the magic. We're gonna lift it up. Amazing! And then you have this amazing art project, okay? And this is wet, so you wanna come show it to me, and then you're gonna put it on the drying rack. Now remember how I mentioned the, notice there's still ink left. So you wanna make sure that you take the scratch piece of paper and lift that ink off, and I'll have scratch pieces of paper, or you can do that with a paper towel and water to wipe it so it's nice and clean for the next person. Okay, I hope you had fun in fine arts learning about the amazing polka dot princess Yayoi Kusama. Until next time, bye everybody.